Hi everyone and happy Monday. Before we dig into our planner, just to say this video has been sponsored by Dawn, so a little shout out to Dawn. Thank you so much, and hello to Dawn and to her dog Petey. Hope you enjoy the video and everyone else as well. Now we have the planner page today from World of Flowers. It's part of a double page, so it might look like it's strangely cut off at this edge. Now I think maybe in this planner or last year's we did the other half, so here is this half. I'm not going to try and match it to the other one that I did. I'm just going to have a play with this one and see how it turns out. Now we're going to use, I have decided to grab my Pablo pencils. Haven't used these for a while. Just wanted to do something a little bit different and needed something that could keep a fairly good point as well for all these little details. I'm going to start, I felt, with the house. I didn't really know where to start. There's a lot going on, isn't there? So I thought we'd just start with the house today. So here is our Naples yellow, and we'll get going. I want to explain a few things as I colour. I'm just going to fill in these centres of these flowers all the same, just with this one yellow, because most of these are quite small. I don't think we need a second colour in here, but I'll have a think when I've done it. But this one's a bit bigger, but most of them are quite little. Now, first thing to explain is I know the Pablo pencils aren't a massively popular brand, so a lot of you probably haven't got them. I do have some comparison charts on my Ko-fi, so if you're using a different brand you can find your nearest colour matches. I'll put a link to all my Pablo charts excuse me, in the description, so you can go and have a little look and find one. If you've got a brand of pencils that I haven't done a chart for, just let me know in the comments and I can put one together if you want me to, or you can just colour along as best you can, or choose your own colours. It's up to you. Right, let's pop that one away. Now, little hint, this is something someone said to me, they don't use one of their pencil brands very much because they're in pencil cases and they find it really hard to put them all back when they're done. What I do is this. So I've used this colour already, but I don't want to lose my place in the pencil case, but I want to make sure that I remember that I've used it. So I leave it slightly sticking out like that. And then when I write my list of pencils for you later, it's easy for me to find. For these flowers, I am going to come in a bit closer. You didn't really need to see the yellow close up. I'm going to do a sort of base colour and then add another colour on top. So what I need to do is make sure that we don't press too hard on our initial layer, because we need to make sure we can go on top with something else. I'm just getting out my swatch chart so I can choose the right colour. I think I'm going to go for mauve. Yes, I'm just checking it's going to turn out how I expect, because I haven't used these for a little while. I'm just trying to get myself familiar again with the colours. So I'm going to do an initial layer of mauve on all of the flowers here on this roof, and then we're going to mix them up a little bit with a few other colours on top. I know they're quite small petals, but we'll manage. And if you find it a little bit too complicated to add lots of colour, just put down a slightly more intense layer of your initial colour, this mauve, and leave it at that. So rather than doing a lightish layer like I'm doing, just go over a few times, make it a bit more intense, and then you can leave it. Now I'm doing the spaces in between the petals as well with this colour. We're going to because I know it might be like, you might think it's this house colour showing through, but that's too complicated for me. So I'm just going to go over it all in the same colour. And I think maybe it would then look like we've got lots of overlapping flowers on the roof. Maybe? Yeah. Anyway, so what was the first thing I wanted to talk about was the comparison charts. There's also a swatch chart for Pablo's too. And all of my charts, I put them in the order that I like, colour order, which isn't usually the tin order or the whatever box order, or you know. But I tend to give you a Excel chart as well as the PDF. So if you don't like my order, you can switch it around a little bit before you print off your swatch chart. I always think that's quite useful. Obviously it means that you can copy it, my idea, and give it away yourself or sell it or whatever, but I trust all of you not to do that. And if you do, you do. Oh, there's a flower centre I missed. So my yellow, which is there, which is handily sticking out of my place I can go back to. Right, the other thing, yes, the video was sponsored. Now that is something new. It was an idea actually by Dawn, because I was saying in a previous video that I was looking for sponsors, and I meant corporate sponsors, you know, and I have been getting in touch with, I think there's another one there I missed. I have been getting in touch with a few different companies to see if they're interested. I've had nothing promising. I've had a few things that aren't quite what I was looking for, but you know, anyway, we'll see what comes of those, but nothing sort of proper. But you know I'm not a huge channel, but I just thought it was worth asking, because they can only say no, and I want to do everything I can to keep going on the channel. I've just realised that underneath here, the page that I did last week is full of stickles, so I'm going to sorry, I need to tip it underneath. So I've tipped that page underneath, so now I've got this just as this one sheet, and I'm leaning on a book. Oh, it's going to sound really different. I'm just going to cushion it with some paper, because that book is a hardback. Because, yeah, I was leaning on the stickles, which isn't ideal. Anyway, so Dawn got in touch with me and said maybe I should just ask my sort of followers, subscribers, etc. to sponsor me instead of a corporate sponsor. So I've set that up on my Ko-fi. So it's possible for you to do that if you want. You can have a shout out, you can have a sort of longer message, you can choose a page that you want to sponsor, or a choose, you know, a page and pencils, that sort of thing. Just if you want to do that sort of thing. I know I do pages by request anyway, when I don't sort of charge you for it, but usually that's for people who are already subscribers or members, or that's supporters. So we're not that sort of thing. So it's just a little thing that I can try, you know, because I'm trying lots and lots of things. I'm actually feeling, I was actually burnt out yesterday because I was working so hard trying to find ways to make sure that I can keep the channel going. You know, I was exhausted with trying to think of new ideas, reading books, doing research, trying to keep up with the content at the same time, and oh. But today I've got more energy, which is good. So I'm back to making videos, but my brain is like whizzing trying to think of ideas and things. Anyway, that's all good. I'm just trying to sort of use every possible opportunity, every thought, every idea. Why not just try everything, you know, but then making sure that I'm thinking it through a little bit to make sure I'm not just going bonkers. That sort of thing. But also I'm trying to do a few other projects at home at the same time, so we're having a big sort out. Basically spring weather has got me spring cleaning, but I'm just slowly going through various things. Like the boys decided, all we've done so far is the top of the boys' wardrobe and bookcase in one of my boys' bedrooms had all games and stuff, jigsaws, and we sorted those out, and they want to sell a few games, so I had a few other things that I could sell, so we're sorting that out. I'm just choosing my next colour. I think I'm going to go on the purple violet route. So this is a sort of darker colour, a more reddish colour, and I just noticed with Squiff, I'm sorry, I'm going to sort of do, I think the bottom of each flower, so this one here, so the bottom of this petal here, and the bottom of this petal here, and the bottom of this one. So we're not matching. Usually I would do all the centre. I'm just trying something a bit different today. So sort of the bottoms. And then the flowers don't all look identical. And it might look like the light's coming down from the top and hitting them, so the bottom bits are all shaded. But, I mean, it's not that, you know, realistic, but it's just a different way. And yeah, because I was doing, I think I mentioned in, oh actually the video I mentioned it in won't come out until after this one. I think that I'd been following a Chris Cheng video and noticing how she does some of her work. Hers are obviously beautiful. What I'm going to do is I'm doing every flower that's got a centre, and then these bits that are behind I'm going to leave for now, and I'm going to colour them a little bit darker, not that one because it belongs to there, after, as if they're sort of just a bit of shadow. That one's on the edge, so I'm not going to do the same with that one. I hope I'm sort of making sense. But you can see it's fairly random that I'm just doing a little dark patch here and fading it up like that. A sort of dark bit here and fading it up. So it doesn't, it's not an exact science. You don't have to try and copy me exactly. Just, you know, have a go. The sun's really bright this morning. I didn't know I thought it was going to rain today. Maybe it is later. Yes, so we've been sorting out, and I'm sort of really in the mood for sorting everything out. I'm thinking, you know, I want to go through all my cupboards and wash them out and get everything out and sort it back in and get rid of stuff that's old, you know, like my medicine cabinet. I mean, there's probably so much stuff I need to get rid of in there. And I noticed my cabinet that I store my shampoos and things in is really dusty, and you know, you can hear the adrenaline in my voice. I'm thinking I want to do this and I want to do that, and so that's in my head as well. You know, I want to get on with a bit of that. I want to go through all my drawers in my chest of drawers, and I don't think I've got much in there to get rid of. It just needs tidying up, you know. And I need to do some gardening, but I might leave that for a week because my dad's coming over for Father's Day, which is the 16th, and as always I'm recording this in advance, so doing it too early means I'll have to do it again. Now gardening is not something I get massively enthused about, to be honest. Ugh. So I might just delay that one a bit. Also, every time I sort of think about it, it's raining. It's probably my subconscious going, oh, I'll think about it now when it's raining because you can't do it. It's that's why we have a gravelled yard with a few pots in. It's very much easier to weed, look after, etc. And it doesn't take, I mean, there's like 20 minutes work if that out there, and I should really get the children helping me. I know they're not children anymore, but I'm trying to make sure while they're on holiday they sort of understand that they have to pull their weight a bit, because I'm the only one working full time, and they're not doing anything much. I mean, they're playing and having fun, which is great because they need a rest. My husband is working 3 days, but he's still having enough stress for 5. But at least he's not having enough stress for 7 like he was when he was working 5 days. So, and I tend to work 7 days a week, so, you know, it's, I can't work full-time 7 days a week because I am having to do all the chores at the same time and everything else. But I have decided that I might try and take a week off doing any household chores. It's a joke, isn't it? Anyone who's got kids will know that that's not going to happen. I'm rather thinking this is quite pretty, that you see the top. It sort of gives the flowers a sort of slightly textured look without too much effort. And just a couple of colours. I have to tell you, I was procrastinating this page. I said I was a bit burnt out yesterday, so I didn't video, and it wasn't that I was burnt out from videoing, it was just everything, you know. And I just... Oh, it's a dog. I couldn't work out what that crying noise was. I don't know if you could hear it. There's a little dog crying outside. Anyway, there we go. Now I'm going to do the ones that are in the back. Now what I'm going to do is grab a dog. A charcoal grey. It's really dark, but I'm not going to apply it really dark. I'm going to lightly apply it until it gives me the shadow that I'm looking for. Excuse me, sorry, I'm just wiping my nose. Poor dog. Charcoal grey. It's not my dog, by the way, I don't have a dog. So up here, there's a little gap. I'm just going to go over it a little bit to make it look a little bit shadowy. So I'm not pressing really ultra hard. I'm just doing it enough to make it look a bit darker. I was hoping a bit of the purple might show through still, but it's not. But never mind. But it will hopefully just give a bit of depth again, make it look like our flowers are sort of standing out a bit from the background. Oh dear, that dog. I'm not a big animal lover in that sense. I mean, I like wild animals more, not a sort of pet lover, if you know what I mean. But I don't like to hear them crying. I'm sort of guessing here what's in front, what's behind. I think it's working. It's not an exact science. Colouring never is. Well, art never is it? There, I think that's it. Okay, let's just pop these pencils back and then think about our wall of our house now, because we need to sort of try to match a bit, but I want something a bit lighter. Let's come out a bit so you can see what I'm looking at. Oops, let's look at the whole house. There we go. So, excuse me, so we've got this wall now. It sort of carries on down here, and here, which confuses me a bit. I think we'll just sort of take it down, maybe. I'm thinking we want something pale. I'm thinking I might go for the light purple because it will go with the pink flowers, but it's not too dark. So let's put a little layer of light purple on here. And I'm just going to go slowly, as I say, with the light layer. We've got a lot of little details to colour around, so I'm just going to sharpen it up a bit. Now when it's sharper, it will start to colour darker, so you have to be careful, because I find if you're colouring a bit and then you sharpen your pencil, your how dark it looks will be different, so it will look a bit darker if you're not careful. So you have to slightly adjust how much pressure you put on it to change it up so it doesn't look quite as dark. You've probably discovered this yourself. I'm sure most of you aren't completely new to colouring, See there where I pushed down on the point a little bit too much, it's gone a bit darker. But I'm not being that finicky about wanting it to be exactly even, so it doesn't matter too much. But let's just go nice and slowly through. There's actually what day is it today? It's the 31st of May today. Last day of May. I don't like it. We're getting too close to summer. Too hot. I always have a moan about the heat. My sister says to me, "You're such a positive person, but you can't seem to ever be positive about hot weather." I'm like, I know, it's the only thing that really, you know, sort of gets me down. But I think it's worse since I've been having hot flushes. The other day it was really hot, and I must have had like 5 or 6 hot flushes per hour. It was like, oh. My husband's like, "Yeah, but it is hot." I'm like, "Yeah, but this is different to just feeling hot, you know. It's like inferno." And then it goes, and you're like, "Oh, that's better." And then it comes back, and get my little hand fan out, in and out. I was like, oh, it's quite tiresome. But actually my sister, she's a twin, we're identical twins. She's doesn't get very many hot flushes, but she's been getting a lot of shoulder pain, and she went to see someone at her surgery who told her that they were getting a lot of pain, and the only thing that made it better for them was HRT, you know, the hormone replacement treatment. But my sister is adamant she doesn't want to go on it, and I'm sort of feeling the same way. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's not that but I feel like I've gone through so much for so long that I just want it to be over, and I don't want to I feel like almost taking HRT would delay me getting through menopause. And if, you know, I just think I've battled through it, let's just get it to the end and do it, you know. But I don't know whether I'm being my own worst enemy, really. But, you know, I've gone through the sleepless nights and anxiety stage, which seems to have gone, thank goodness. Obviously I still get stressed at times, we all do, but not to the extent that I had been. And I don't know whether that was whether that's just got better because hormones are a bit more settled, or whether I have found some coping techniques as well. I've gone back to some old coping techniques that I used to use, which I'd sort of almost forgotten about. Now I'm trying to figure out what to do under the door. Now I'm thinking this house is not flat. I think it could be a cylindrical house. So I'm going to come back along here and make these edges a little bit darker, and then just sort of fade that in. And my idea is that maybe it will look a bit more like there's some shadow on the edge of the house. I've gone over that line, I know, which might make it look a bit more curved on those edges, with it being round. I haven't decided what I'm doing with that yet. I will decide in a minute. Indecisive. So yes, I was sort of thinking, I've gone through this sleepless nights, I've gone through the anxiety, I'm going through the hot flushes, the itchiness, the other more personal symptoms we won't go into, other things, and I feel like I'm coming out of the other side, and I don't feel like I want to take hormones and then have to come off them and go through it all over again. But I don't really know how HRT works. Right, I think that's a bit better. And what I've decided is I'm going to use this pink on the ground. It doesn't make sense, but no, I think I've changed my mind. I'm just going to end it here and make this bit darker like the rest of the house, and then just sort of end it there, level with the bottom of the door, put a bit in there, and then we'll do this bit is either grass or dirt. I haven't decided yet. Oh, hang on, let's stop you being so drunk. There you are. I really shouldn't be drinking. Now, our window. Let's come back, let's sort of come back to the top a little bit. Let's come back in. Let's take us up a bit because we don't need to see the roof. There we go. Let's just see the whole of that. There we are. Window. Light coming through the window. I don't want it to be too dark, so I'm going to use the lemon yellow. And I'm not going to press, oops, sorry, massively hard, but I'm going to put, my phone's ringing. Just listening to see if someone's getting it. Husband's quiet. Sounds like it's a spam call to me. He's not talking, he's just listening. So I'm going to do this window the same. And also the light around this candle. I think it's quite nice having some consistency in our light. It's quite pale because I don't think it's night time, so I don't want it to be really bright. Now the window frames, I think we'll do this dark colour, the purple violet that we did on the flowers. I think it'll tie it together. What I'm going to do is do a light layer first, all around. There's a train going by. Like that. And on the sill, I'm going to make the sill the same, and around the door, both on the stones and the frame. Don't worry, we're going to come back and do more work. It won't just look like this. I don't know if husband hung up the phone, but it's not talking. Anyway, I'm sure he can deal with it. All around the door frame. I'm looking at the time. This video's gone on a long time already. I wanted to get the whole of the house done in the first video, but don't know. Got quite a lot of elements. Oh, I completely forgot. I was going to apologise to you all because in yesterday's video I said I'd see you tomorrow with the third part. Sorry, I don't know why I'm showing you that again, because I sharpened it. With the, I'm going to go around the edge, that's why I sharpened it. I said I would see you tomorrow for the third part of the video, and this one is interrupting that series. So if you're a channel member, you can watch the compilation that I've sent you and get early access to that third part. Otherwise, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait until this series is ended. And it's a big one. I would say at least 3 videos. It's very detailed, isn't it, this picture? So I find if you go around the edge carefully, it makes it look slightly more 3D, but I don't know how effective that was. This sill, I think I'm just going to go along the bottom in the edge like that. Now the door frame, we're going to have some shadow from the bricks. So just all around the edge really. You could do the shadow in the grey that we used. It was the charcoal grey, wasn't it? And I might do that after if it doesn't show up enough. I quite like just doing it in the colour that I'm using as well, like that. And then we'll just bring that in a bit. So I'm just adding a little bit of an extra layer around part of this door. Just with the side of my pencil. A little bit along the bottom, maybe under the door. There we go. Now each brick, I'm just going to go around the edge. I'm trying not to make it as dark as that shadow, and then just bring it in a bit like that. And it just gives the bricks a little bit of individual shape, which I rather like. Yeah, so the series was yesterday's series. I can't even remember what it was because I didn't record yesterday. I'm not sure. Anyway, the third part will come. It's just that I have a schedule for my planners, so they're always on a Monday, which makes sense for you. So other things have to work around it. I just timed it wrong. I have a two-parter video which I should have made and put in the space, and left the three-parter until after this planner, but I just didn't get it right. Sometimes I do change the order of my videos a little bit, but because I talk about current events, it's bad enough that I'm sort of a week or more out of time anyway, because I record in advance, but if I start mixing them around too much, it might get a bit weird. There we are. I'm happy with that. The door though, I'm not sure. Oh, we need to do this bit. And put a slightly harder layer, another layer around the edge. I think I'm going to do the door itself in the colour of the wall, the light purple first. There's a light layer on here. I realise we've used this already, so it's not going to stand out yet, but this is just going to be our sort of base. Now, I'm not worrying too much about making it really neat. Why is that? Well, it's wood, and I'm thinking wood can split and discolour and things like that, and it's got a graining going this way, so it doesn't matter too much if it looks a little bit scruffy. But we're now going to grab the purple, which we haven't used yet, and we're going to add this to the door. Now, to start with, we're going to go all the way around this edge like that to create what will hopefully look like a bit of a shadow, so the door looks like it's slightly set back in the door frame. Okay, and then a bit of a shadow under our window and under the handle like that. Then I'm going to use some lighter strokes to just add some sort of wood grain look lines on it, and it will sort of change the colour so it doesn't look like it's the same colour as the wall. There we go. I haven't thought about what I'm going to do for the handle. Bring that shadow to the end, doesn't look weird. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It looks a bit weathered, and it's always a bit of a gamble because it might end up looking like it's like you've just made a mess and haven't coloured it neatly, but I'm okay. Now I'm just going to grab one more colour to do my bell, lamp, pots, that sort of thing. So this is the purplish red. I'm going to do the doorbell. I know you might think, oh, I want to do it in silver metallics. There is actually a silver pencil, I think, in this set. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to make it dark on the outside with a little bit of gap there so it looks like it's metallic and shiny. And the same with the door handle. So take that to there, leave a little gap like that for shine. For this one, I'm going to go diagonally across like that and then back up and leave like a white shine line like that. The lamp next. So a bit at the top and the bottom of this hanging bit. How is it staying hanging on that vine? I think Johanna defies gravity. She must be some sort of wizardess. There we go. Put a bit of a gap in the middle, same on the edges all the way around. Need to colour that candle in. Now the flame, this looks really similar, doesn't it, to this colour? That's okay. We just finished a candle, I think. We aren't going to do masses of this. I'm going to grab this colour for the candle. This is the purple violet we have used already. Now often on a candle I would leave a little gap to look shiny, but it's too difficult in this small space. These pots I'm going to make slightly lighter in the middle to hopefully give them the sort of rounded look, but not leave it white. It's not going to be shiny, but just a little bit lighter. So you just put more layers on the edge like that. I've got this box as well. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to just do a light layer to start with. And then we'll sort of do this bit a bit darker. This bit in here, I don't know why. It just looks to me like it might be darker in there. There we go. What else have we got? We need to do the candle flame, or else I'm going to forget. It'd be quite fun to do it in pink. But I'm not going to. I'm going to actually do it in the Naples yellow we used for the flower centres. So it isn't massively darker. I don't want it to jump off the page. I want the whole house to sort of be the centre of the picture. Okay, now how are we doing? I'm going to do the vines, I think, and the flowers, all the greens that are on the house. I want them to stand out a little bit, not massively. I think the bluish green, actually, where are you? Bluish green, there we go. Need to sharpen it. It's very fine work. Need a sharp point, there we go. So bluish green, and I'm just going to do them very simply. We'll do a bit more detail on some of the leaves and things possibly in the rest of the page, but these are so little. I think it's probably best just to colour them in, block them in. It's rather a cute colour, I think. Goes nicely with the pinks. As I say, I'm not doing too much any sort of detailing really, just blocking it in. Just the end of this video, nice and easy for you. I'm going to do the leaves on the plants too, the same. Now this one's got flowers on as well, so be careful as you're colouring. Leave the flowers, we'll pop some colour into those before we finish. I'm trying to check that we haven't got any vines elsewhere on the page that this is maybe coming from, but I can't see any. So that's good. Yeah, this is part of a double pager in World of Flowers. It's quite a daunting page actually, there's a lot of detail. Got our little border as well. The border is rather cute, I think. I do like a page with a border, but it's not always easy to know quite how to do the border so it looks matches the page, but it looks like a frame. but I'm sure I can think of something. I haven't yet, but I'm sure I will. So we're just going to do those little flowers and then make that do for today, because we've done a fair bit, haven't we? I'm thinking, whoops, I'm going to choose a colour I've used already. Quite tempted by the house colour, but I think, no, we'll use the mauve. Just give it a sharpen. There we go. Mauve. And I'm going to press, well, I'm going to layer up a bit so they stand out a bit. There we go. And the fact that these aren't shaded makes sense because they're sort of silhouetted up against the window. So now I'm not going to do the bottles now. I haven't quite decided what to do with those, whether to match them in or not. So here is our picture so far. We've still got an awful lot to go, but there's the house done. Yeah, I'm leaning on my Maria trolley, but let's just flatten that out a bit. Yeah, my page has got a bit scrumpled, but it'll be fine. So there we are, that is us for today. Hope you have a really super Monday. Again, a big thank you to Dawn for sponsoring the video. Just realised we haven't done the chimney. But never mind, we've done enough for today. We'll come back tomorrow and get some more done. There's a lot of little details. There's some rather fun and cute bits and pieces to do. So we shall get on with that tomorrow. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.